I did not want to do this thing at, midnight last night. Like I said, what was it, 11 o'clock? No, it was midnight. Did not want to do that. I was in my jammies. It was dark in my room. I did not want to set all of this stuff up and do one of these live things while everybody's going to sleep. I thought I would wait till bright and early Sunday morning with you guys. And let's talk some Cowboys, man. How about possibly the most important win in the history of this franchise? I'm just kidding, of course. This was a preseason game. It is what it is. But as I mentioned before, as I mentioned on yesterday's show, this was not a meaningless game. These are not meaningless games. They're meaningless in the standings. They are not by any way meaningless in the grand scheme of things. And I think we learned some things yesterday from some guys maybe that we hadn't seen stuff from before, good stuff from before. And now the Dallas Cowboys come home from the desert with a win. They are 2-0 in the preseason for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Again, that doesn't mean anything, but you know how Cowboys fans are. Cowboys fans are going to try to brag about literally anything they can brag about, including a 2-0 preseason. We weren't talking Super Bowl before. We're sure talking about it now, aren't we, in all of your Facebook groups? Can't wait to see this week. But look, no, certainly there were good things that we want to take out of this. There's no question. 34-13 inside one of the ugliest stadiums in the history of the NFL. I've talked about that before. After spending almost a month now in Oxnard, we had come up with the things we needed to see this offseason. We came up with the issues that needed to be addressed this offseason. And now the Cowboys will head back to Texas, right here, down the road in Frisco. And they'll enjoy a much happier trip home for sure after an impressive performance on both sides of the ball. So let's kind of break down what we saw here. I'm not going to take too much of your breakfast time. I never do. Y'all know that. Y'all know me. I got breakfast to get to, too. And it's Sunday. I hadn't had my coffee yet. And I got that whole allergy thing going this morning. You guys probably hadn't seen that in a while. Yeah, I got the morning allergy thing going again. Here we are. Feel like summer's almost over already, but it's not. It's going to be like 117 degrees today in my backyard. Look, this was a preseason game. It does not count in the standings. But Dallas had not beaten Arizona in any setting since 2017. For whatever reason, the Cardinals have delivered more than their fair share of Cowboys memories. From 2023, the Josh Dobbs disaster in a 38-10 Monday night beatdown in 2020. Another primetime loss last season to the stupid Cardinals. And look, it gave me bad memories. I talked about this on yesterday morning's show, I think, or maybe it was Friday's show. Do y'all remember when the Cardinals were a division rival? I mean, I certainly do. I grew up that way. They were in the NFC East, weirdly enough, till 2002 when we split all of this stuff up. And I had bad memories, man, bad memories of Jim Hart and Jake Plummer beating the Cowboys in the late 90s. And the last 9 years, Cowboys versus Cardinals have not been good. Again, it's preseason, but it's fun to enjoy a win against a team that you have not had any success over. And more importantly, though, you showed some things from some guys that you needed to see some things from. So let's get to the biggest winner of Saturday night, Saturday night. Joe Milton. Friday's show, Saturday's show, I talked about QB2. I said one of these guys in this game is going to have the potential to stand out, to separate himself, because that did not happen in week 1. Both guys played relatively well. Clearly on Saturday night, Joe Milton was the guy. He took control of the offense during the first half, 3 touchdowns, 9 of 13 for 179 yards. He displayed that ridiculous arm strength and explosive ability that have made him just an intriguing quarterback since coming out of college. Coming out of college, I thought this dude could be an NFL starter. He has yet to show that, but I feel like maybe last night he might be turning a little bit of a corner. Hopefully for the Cowboys. And maybe his signature moment, that beautiful deep ball to Jonathan Mingo for the 53-yard touchdown pass. That ball could not have been thrown any better. And the offensive line gave him the time. And look what happens when a guy has time in the pocket to throw the ball, to set his feet and aim correctly and throw the ball. But yeah, Joe Milton by far the biggest winner here. That's why he's on our thumbnail. And over his last 4 quarters of preseason football, Milton is now 21-28, 286 yards and 3 touchdowns. I realize that's not all in the same game. It's not what I'm saying. And I realize this is preseason. But again, consider what we needed to see. We needed to see something like this from him. Sam Howell on the other side, 7-10 for 65 yards. Had what I think, a very costly late interception. Costly as far as his performance and his evaluations. And I went into this game, and I told you guys yesterday morning, I told you last week, right now I'm more comfortable with Sam Howell as my backup quarterback going into the season. I still don't know that has changed. Maybe right or wrong, I don't know. I still feel like Sam Howell gives you the better experience. I don't think that's changed, but Joe Milton is certainly getting closer. If we see some more of this in the 3rd preseason game from Joe Milton, I might flip that. And I don't know how the Cowboys are going to manage keeping both of these guys. I really don't. It's possible. Everybody wants 3 quarterbacks these days. But, Howell, again, entered the camp as your more experienced option in the competition behind Dak Prescott. He started in this league. He beat the Cowboys in his very first NFL game when he was, I think it was the last game of the season a few years ago. It was meaningless, but not for him or for the Cowboys. And that started in Washington. And Brian Schottenheimer still maintains that this competition is far from over, and he's right. It should not be. He praised Milton's performance Saturday night, as he should. This thing is still wide open. Again, we're just seeing the things that we said we wanted and needed to see, right? These are what we decided we needed to see. And it's certainly better than a subpar performance. Joe Milton could have gone out there and looked like Deshaun Watson. We'd be having a different conversation this morning. How about that, by the way? Talk about falling off the face of the earth. But, yeah, if Milton has another performance like this in the preseason finale, the decision for the QB2 is going to be a difficult one. And I don't know how you could go wrong either way, really. So we'll see what happens with that. Running back. I think this competition is much less settled. Jaydon Blue, 75 yards. Malik Davis, 29 yards. Caught a touchdown pass. Both averaged more than 5 yards per carry in the game. And then you had rookie Phil Mafah. Despite an injury, he returned the opening kickoff and put the finishing touch on a victory with that 15-yard touchdown run. His only offensive touch of the game. So clearly, I think Javonte Williams is your starter here. I don't know that that's up for debate. But the race behind him seems really crowded. With Blue, Davis, Mafah, the coaching staff clearly has some things to think about here. I still like Davis. I think Davis is much more proven. You still have the issues very fresh of Jaydon Blue, and no, I'm not going to hold it against him forever that he's a knucklehead. But I need more than one offseason for him to prove that he's not a knucklehead to give him my RB2 spot. I think that needs to go to Davis right now where we sit now. Wide receiver, how about Jonathan Mingo? He might have delivered maybe exactly the kind of moment that he needed to deliver. Of course, we remember Mingo acquired in a midseason trade last year And his connection with Milton produced the first touchdown of Mingo's NFL career. Camden Brown, starred in that preseason opener with he added a 70-yard touchdown catch against Arizona. I really thought he was going to go the distance. He got tripped up right there at the end. So Mingo and Camden Brown, the battle for that final wide receiver roster spot remains alive, I think. The third preseason game will be of the utmost importance for both of these guys. And the easiest solution here is that you keep both of them. 6 receivers. Wow. It's possible. Lamb, Pickens, Flournoy, Turpin, Brown, and Mingo. There's your 6 guys if you decide you want to keep 6. It's possible. Zach Kuntz dropped 2 very catchable passes in the first half. Schoonmaker had that 19-yard catch and run. Jake Ferguson, Brevin Spanford, and Michael Trigg, of course, were all inactive. And all 3 obviously are ahead of Kuntz on the depth chart. I'm not a fan of Kuntz. I mean, I'm probably a good guy. Football-wise, I think Kuntz and Schoonmaker are probably the same exact guy. And I'm not a fan of either one. So if I had my way here this season, you'd see a wide receiver trio of Ferguson, Spanford, and Trigg. Don't know that the coaching staff is going to go that direction with it, though. You had former Cowboys tight end Rivaldo Fairweather. Had a pretty rough night for Arizona. 2 penalties on the same drive. Both penalties wiping Cardinals touchdowns off the board. Rough night for Fairweather for sure. He is a good dude. You hate to see that, but plays for the Cardinals now. So sorry. Rookie linebacker that we were talking about, that we wanted to see. I told you guys to pay very close attention to where he lines up, when he lines up, how he is used. Make your notes. Might make the game a little more enjoyable. As Jaishawn Barham made an immediate impression in his NFL debut. Got into the backfield for a tackle for loss. Made a very powerful open field tackle. And I think his ability to play either inside linebacker or play on the edge, again, gives Christian Parker a very versatile weapon, and I think that's what they expected from him when they drafted him. I believe that's why he is a Cowboy now. Shavon Revel also continued his push for a starting role here with the interception of Minshew. What's happened to Gardner Minshew, by the way? I thought he was better than this, but maybe not. Maybe he just hasn't gotten the right opportunity. I don't know. Maybe he just sucks. Look, and Barham and Revel were both finished by halftime. Their work was done. The Cowboys were in control. The game really wasn't in question anymore. So those are some of the things that I noticed, boys and girls, some of the position battles that I noticed, boys and girls. You guys kind of let me know what your thoughts were here. We've got some comments I can get to. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Randall Cavender, they don't count, but they mean something. Absolutely 100%. That's what I'm saying. They don't count really for anything other than the guys on the field. They count for jobs. Little Dallas Cowboys, Howell versus Seattle, Milton versus Arizona. Both of them showed me something, man. Arizona front runner for Arch. Man, I don't know if we're there yet, are we? Don't you want to see what Arch has in the tank this year? I mean, they got a horrible schedule if you're a Longhorns fan, and he's not even your Heisman favorite right now. But I mean, I'm a Manning fan. I'm a believer in Arch. I just don't know that he's going to be your first quarterback taken. I don't know that yet. We got to wait and see, but I appreciate the Longhorns enthusiasm. Joey Frank, the Cardinals were in our division at one time, so there's a small round. Yeah, that's what I mentioned at the very top of the show. I was having wicked flashbacks the last 9 years as the Cowboys could not beat the Cardinals in any faction of a game, preseason or otherwise. To win, yeah, I told you, man, I had the ghosts of Jim Hart and the ghosts of Jake Plummer breathing down my neck for the last 9 years. As the Cardinals were in the East Mostly as the St. Louis Cardinals, obviously. But, yeah, bad memories, man, if you're old like me for the Cardinals. I still hate the Cardinals like I hate the Giants, the Redskins, and the Feagles. That's not a real word, Joey. I say the biggest winner was Joe and the panties that they didn't cause. Okay. I should probably proofread some of these before I go live with them, shouldn't I? Where is Fish? I came here to get growled at. Well, Fish is probably asleep still, boys and girls. He's not a very early riser when there's a late Cowboys game. I can growl at you just like Fish can. I'd rather not. Maybe get up tomorrow morning and let Fish growl at you at 8 a.m. Monday. By the way, our show will be back Monday, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And then starting September 1st, we'll go to 9 a.m. live on all of the FanStream Sports channels and the Fish Report YouTube channel. Michael Parker, proven to be average versus chance to be a star. I don't know what context that's in, but it sounds like an intelligent comment for sure. And then Troy Weldon, if anyone is honest here, who thinks Milton looks better than Dak Prescott? Prescott can't move like Milton can, and he can't run like Milton can, and I actually don't remember Prescott ever throwing like, okay, all right. I appreciate what you're saying here, Troy, but that's ludicrous. Joe Milton is not better than Dak Prescott at this point of his career. Does he have the higher ceiling than Dak? Well, probably because Dak's 148 years old right now. But clearly you did not watch Dak Prescott the first couple of years of his career because Dak Prescott was super mobile. Dak Prescott still has a laser beam for an arm. And Dak Prescott still makes better decisions in game on the field than 90% of the NFL quarterbacks right now. And no, I'm not a Dak lover. I'm not married to Dak. I'm just spouting facts. Nothing against Joe Milton. Can he get there? Yeah. Joe Milton might have better natural skills and abilities than Dak Prescott. But right now, in an NFL game for an NFL season, Dak Prescott is heads and tails way far higher above than where Joe Milton is right now. But I see where you're going with this. Can Joe Milton be the future maybe of the Cowboys? Yeah, absolutely, man. If he keeps having games like this and he shows us something in the regular season, God forbid he has to play regular season games, that would be a horrible thing for the Cowboys this year. But by all means, man, maybe we're looking at the future of the Cowboys quarterback. I don't know. I mean, that's clearly the point of getting a guy like him, right? When you've got an aging quarterback who's in the twilight of his career, and that's Dak Prescott. So, yeah, man, I wouldn't hate it if Milton became better than Dak. He's just not there right now. I do appreciate the comment, though. All right, boys and girls, that's going to wrap it up. You guys enjoy your Sunday. Pretty sure there's football on today. It's Sunday. It's preseason. Why wouldn't there be football on today? Go enjoy some of that. We will be back tomorrow morning, maybe with some additional breakdown of the running back position as we continue the offseason, as the Cowboys head home here to Frisco. And we'll do that at 7 a.m. the rest of this week coming up. And then the week after that, starting maybe August 31st, I think, is a Monday. I believe if my memory brain calendar doesn't do me wrong here. I think starting the 31st is when we will jump to 9 a.m. weekdays. And, your occasional weekend show, we're not afraid of these weekends. We'll do this for you. I'm going to go make some cheese toast or maybe an everything bagel for breakfast. I haven't had breakfast yet. I got all the kids here this weekend, and I got to do something special. So maybe we did biscuits and gravy yesterday, homemade. I might just do some homemade bagels and stuff like that. I don't know. You guys go have your breakfast. I'm going to go get my coffee, and we'll do it all again tomorrow morning on the Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz right here on FanStream Sports. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.